And exhale. We did it, guys. It's Marco, Sage of Soccer, and the U.S. men's national team just qualified for the 2022 World Cup. And don't talk about that Costa Rica game. We're good. And man, it is awesome to do this. And this is a night to celebrate. And I know this is analysis first. This is going to be more just, we did it. Let's react. Let's relax. Let's just have a good time tonight. Because, man, we're finally in the World Cup after that terrible screw-up a couple years ago in Trinidad. We finally made up for it, and we're going to be going back to Qatar. So, yeah, that's really just, we have to celebrate tonight because this is a great thing. And the performance wasn't that bad either. Like, listen, we're going to be celebrating. I'm not going to be breaking down. I'm not going to be pointing out negative things because let's just drop our standards and relax for a little bit. So, with Zack, Steffen, I mean, hey, he kept most of the shots out. I mean, one goal at the end is what it is. I don't think it'll end up making that much of a difference. What's Costa Rica have to win by? Like, they have to beat us like 6-0. Like, I think we'll be fine. Walker and Miles, they're an elite CONCACAF defensive group. Like, those two can keep balls out of the net. Like, good job by those guys. Jedi, a couple of assists today, I think. He was looking really good, looking dangerous with his crosses. Good to see that out of him. Shaq Moore looked pretty good, coming in with very little prep time. He was having a decent game. Tyler Adams, he showed some work rate. Like, he was looking pretty good, getting around the field. Yunus, Musah, and Luca Torre, like, they actually look like really class players. Like, center midfielders have somehow become the strength of this team. Didn't really expect that to happen, but in Musah, what he can do on the ball, like, that's special. And at his young age, he's only going to be better. He's going to be great. And Luca Torre, every time he plays with us, he impresses. Like, the way he can get the ball and turn and create chances. Like, Luca, we got to get him onto the field in just about every game we play because he's special. He can make things happen. And it's about time we realize that this guy's an elite player and he's a good part of this team. He needs to be there. Hey, and talk about Paul Arriola. Good job by him getting up and winning that header. And he had an assist too, I think. And yeah, awesome to see. Like, yeah, he can make things happen sometimes. He's a good little player. Like, when we're against this type of opposition, he can shine. Like, he's an MLS All-Star for a reason. He's an MLS All-Star, right? He has to be. Like, he's a good MLS player. He's good. Jesús Ferreira, man, put the ball in the back of the net. Like, finally we have a striker who's done that. Man, is this the first goal we've had out of a striker this World Cup qualifying cycle? Well, since Ricardo Pepi moved to Europe. I think it's the first one we've had, which is, wow, that's something to say. But, man, Jesús Ferreira, nice to see that. He can be a really good 10 for us as well, and he did a good job today up front. Like, he scored a goal. And the main guy I want to talk about is the hat-trick hero, Christian Pulisic. Man, forget the goals. Like, it was a hat trick, but it's Panama. So forget the goals for a second. But I really liked what I've seen from him as a leader because when I watch this team, there are a couple of guys for me who like kind of stuck out as like on the field leaders. Now I'm obviously not in the locker room, so like I don't know about this stuff. I know that they have like a secret leadership breakfast club thing going on or whatever. But like on the field, the guys who stick out to me as leaders are John Brooks, but is what it is. Weston McKennie, who's out injured, Kelvin Acosta, and Pulisic today, he looks like one of those on-the-field leaders. And that's something I really like to see. It's something that I don't think we see out of Pulisic that often. Maybe it's just because we were up and he was feeling confident, but if he can carry that forward, we can see it in the next game. We maybe see it in the nation. We probably shouldn't risk him in the Nations League, but it's really good to see, and I really liked what I saw of Christian Pulisic. Subs, it was the second half. There's not really anything you can glean from. I liked Gio's swagger. Dude, I miss watching that guy play. Nice to see Busio come back in. Yeah, that guy's somebody I'm pretty high on. I really like the type of player that he is, like the deep-lying playmaker. And, well, that's what he could be. He's been playing more of an 8 a lot, but honestly, he's been playing everywhere in the midfield. But I like what I see out of Busio. I can really see him being a strong player. Who else? Morris, Long, Acosta. Like, hey, we got a lot of guys on. It's kind of hard to judge people. Like, when you're up, 4 or 5-0, like, you can't do too much. And now, hey, We qualified for the World Cup. It is what it is, but, like, it's awesome. It is awesome. That's what it is. Like, man, I'm excited because missing the World Cup would have been so dreadful for American soccer just as a whole. Like, it might not have recovered. So, qualifying, we did it. However, should be said, that's the bare minimum. Qualifying's not even an expectation. It's like breathing. It's going to happen. So now the hard part starts. And now's the part where we start looking at this team and we start looking at these guys at a World Cup level. Like a World Cup make-or-run level. I think we need to be a top 8 team in the world, like a quarterfinal team. If we get there, all we need is a bit of luck in the bracket. All we need is Qatar going through based off, host gets a couple advantages. We get to play Qatar in their knockout round. Hey, maybe France will screw up because they won the World Cup last time. They'll go out in the group stage. We'll get an easy matchup in the second round. Like, anything can happen. But we have to get out of the group. We have to get past a tough first round matchup. And to do that, we're going to need a couple of really good players. Like, probably 15 players who we can trust at like a Premier League level. At this point, I don't see too many of them. So this is where the hard part starts. Everything we did now, that was just the expectation. Now it's when we've got to grind. Now it's when we've got to show our stuff. And starting against that Costa Rica game, the standard's going to be rising. We're going to be talking about this team like we're talking about a Premier League team. And treating them with the maturity that this team deserves as a soccer nation. Because we are a talented team. But tonight, we celebrate. We made the World Cup. Dude, forget the Super Bowl. We should have off tomorrow. Let's celebrate this. We're getting there. Man, it's awesome to see. And, man, it's going to be a fun November covering this team. Man, a lot of stuff's going to change for me till then. So it's something I'm going to be looking forward to throughout this entire thing. And, man, it's so good to see the USA back in the World Cup. Like, man, it's been so long since, man, Julian Green scored that goal. Like, dude, I want to see that again because that game was one of the funnest I've seen in a long time. So, yeah, that's all we have to talk about today. We made the World Cup, but yeah, hard part starts now. But tonight we celebrate. That's all I talk about. See ya.